We have to work together to confront bigotry and prejudice wherever they appear, but we'll make no progress and heal no wounds by falsely labeling tens of millions of decent Americans as racist or bigots.
I'm joined now by political scientist Sean Michael Cox. Sean, how helpful are Donald Trump's comments here, given that people are calling for police reforms and given the anger that there is right now in the US?
In terms of national unity, they aren't particularly helpful. Basically, what we're seeing now is that we're a little less than 5 months out from the election. Donald Trump has his base locked in, and now he's appealing to other segments of the US electorate to get support, particularly the very powerful police unions, typical swing voters that we see, for example, middle-aged suburban white women who could be stay-at-home moms or recent empty nesters or working from a home or something like that. He's trying to shift a narrative saying that the United States is not fundamentally racist. It's just an issue of training that can be addressed. It's a fairly simple problem in the way that he seems to be defining it.
But people are on the streets and they are calling for reform. And he also said on Thursday that police should be able to use force, but that it should be, quote, force with compassion. What do you make of that?
He seems to be trying to drive the discussion in a way that will only benefit his politics. He has never been one about creating a united atmosphere amongst all the disparate groups in the United States. It's all about getting support for what he wants and for what his own interests are. In saying that, in the things that he was saying yesterday and in the previous week, he's ignoring a whole host of issues that are related to this. For example, economic disparity that has been one of the root causes of racism, the militarization of the police, and then he seems to be taking stabs at those who are in opposition to him, essentially implying that it's inherently undemocratic and anti-American to be protesting against law and order and the police.
And is it just some bad apples, Sean?
Respectfully, I don't think so. We've demonstrated time and time again in the United States that systemic racism does exist, that African Americans for decades after the civil rights movement have still suffered. Although they're equal under the law, they aren't equal under practice. And it also seems that President Trump is taking a poke at this as well. He has his first upcoming rally in restarting his campaign in Tulsa on June 19th, which is the day that celebrates the abolition of slavery, but it was also the location of the Tulsa Race Massacre in 1921, where Black Wall Street, 35 city blocks were burned down by white rioters. And it's bad optics, and it doesn't speak to him wanting to heal the nation, just speaks to his base and to the support he thinks he can garner to win the election.
And where does the US go now? This is the week where George Floyd was laid to rest, and we've had these comments now on police reform. What happens this weekend on the streets in the US?
I believe that they will still see demonstrations, but they're going to be definitely peaceful in nature. Even those who are out protesting were shocked by the level of violence that was demonstrated in the protests. And I think that those who are really wanting reform, that are going to be pushing for change, are going to ensure that the issue stays in the forefront of the American dialogue, but they're going to attempt to do it in a more peaceful way.
Sean Michael Cox, a pleasure to speak to you. Thank you so much for your thoughts.